Should be any minute now. I hope the military did not track the re-entry.
They probably did. Best we can hope for is that they weren't tipped off beforehand and didn't have time to scramble their birds and pinpoint us. I was at the Pentagon once. It's got screen doors. I thought it was hilarious. Chintzy, but probably just another way for them to spy on us better. There it is! Interesting. A rocket landing looks just like a rocket taking off, only backwards. Should we approach?
Could be radiation.
The girl!
Oh, the heck with radiation. Come on! Well, as soon as my subordinate gets here, there she is now. This is my associate, Agent Y, and Professor Johnson.
Yes. It's kind of silly. A waste of resources, really.
But it's too late now for either side to admit the truth. Excuse me, comrade, but there's been a change of plan.
I ain't going airborne for no Ruskies.
Don't worry. Agent X and I are from the Eastern Bloc, yes, but we don't represent the Soviet Union.
Then who do you represent?
A worldwide consortium of private business interests. Entrepreneurs. They prefer to remain nameless, but the object is to launch immediately, beat both the US and the Soviets to Mars, and go public. That way, they'll have to call the race off. Both sides will save money and reduce their deficit. Prosperity all around.
Professor Johnson will be the mission commander. Sean, you're the backup pilot and in charge of navigation, computer system, weapons, aerology, and zoology. April, you're in charge of botany.
Aerology?
You're a qualified geologist, are you not?
Yes.
Aerology is just like geology, but on Mars.
I can do most of those things just as well as he can, and I'm a better pilot too. Why does he get all the titles?
Because he's a man?
Excuse me, comrade, but I've been trying to tell you.
Tell me what?
Professor Johnson has to be scratched from the mission.
What?
He's joined another agency.
NASA?
No, SAG. He just got back from an assignment in the Pacific, fighting giant crabs that were created by nuclear testing. He's still recovering from his injuries. And shortly, he's going to be assigned to help some folks marooned on a desert isle. So, the agency says he has to rest up right now. Can't take on any other jobs.
I'm really sorry about this, Agent X, but I take orders just like you do.
Well, this is a fine howdy-do. How am I supposed to complete the mission?
Improvise.
Why didn't you tell me about it before?
You would have gotten upset.
Upset? I'll show you upset. Do you know how much we could have saved if we built the ship as a 2-seater instead of a 3?
Sorry, comrade. Take a deep breath. Focus.
Excuse me, Sean. You're a good pilot, right?
I've flown a lot of aircraft. I guess they're telling me I'm going to fly a spaceship too, sight unseen. What I enjoy most is sailing.
So if you've piloted a small boat, you could be brave and sure?
Of course.
Well, we might have a spot for you in my next assignment, then. You'd have to shave your beard, though.
Why?
It's the rules. All the guys have to have a certain look. The first mate's going to have to shave, too. Oh, and, April, would you be interested in posing as a millionaire's wife?
Sounds okay to me. Do I get to keep the money afterwards?
That could be negotiated.
Do you have someone for the millionaire? Might as well keep a couple together, don't you think?
We don't have anyone yet, but you don't qualify. You're just a little too old.
Iris and I are the same age.
Exactly.
Beat it, Professor.
I'll lock him out.
Now, Let's get down to business. I have jumpsuits for both of you right over there. Please put them on quickly. There are spacesuits, weapons, and everything else you need on board the ship.
Hey, I wanted to thank you for getting me out of that suicide mission.
Did you think that I just married you for a green card? I'm glad you survived the crabs.
Yeah. And fighting those snooky crustaceans was a challenge, too. Oh, you literally meant crabs. Yeah, that was kind of dangerous.
Giant crabs can't move that fast, can they?
No, but when they ate the brains of some humans, they acquired human intelligence. And they gained their victims' memories and the ability to speak with their victims' voices. They call for help in order to lure new victims into their traps.
Are you making this up? It sounds pretty incredible.
You are about to launch a backyard rocket to Mars, and you're worried about credulity. By the way, if you want to pass as an ordinary American, you have to say nuclear, not nuclear.
Well, excuse me.
Speaking of the launch, Agent X, she sees everything, knows everything. How did you manage to snow job her?
Well, I had to call in a lot of favors, but I was able to get the hold of the Martian satellite data and covered my tracks for having accessed it, and removed all records of our relationship from your files and from mine.
How can I ever repay you?
Well, my job security is in danger, so I'm not really looking forward to peeling potatoes in Siberia for the next 10 years. Do you have an opening on your next assignment?
Well, the movie star position is taken, but if you work on that accent, we might be able to find you a spot with the rest.